Are you ready to listen to a book? This book is called Better Lives with Bionics. It's nonfiction. Imagine if you lost a hand. Wouldn't you wish for an artificial hand that could hold, touch, and feel just like the hand you lost? If you became blind or deaf, you would probably wish you had an implant that could help you see or hear again. And what if you were paralyzed? You might wish you could control objects with your mind. These ideas may sound like science fiction, but some of them are becoming possible through the science of bionics. A combination of biology and electronics, bionics studies how living organisms function in order to build electronic devices that imitate or copy these functions. Bionic parts are artificial robotic body parts that work like the parts that they are made to replace. Like machines, our bodies work with electrical impulses. Our nervous system sends electrical signals to the brain from body parts such as our hands, our legs, our ears, and our eyes. Our nervous system also carries signals back from our brain to our body parts to control our body's movement and functions. Scientists are now able to create machines that work like our own body parts. These machines can be commanded to move and to function using signals from our brain. This is Amanda Kitts. She lost her arm in a car accident in 2006. Although she now only has a stump where her arm used to be, Amanda still remembers the whole arm and hand she used to have. Scientists have connected electrodes and wires to the muscles in her stump. Then they attached an artificial bionic arm to the stump. The electrodes pick up electrical impulses from the nerves and the muscle tissue in Amanda's stump. The impulses are sent from Amanda's brain when she thinks about moving the arm or hand she remembers. The bionic arm responds to her thoughts and moves in ways that are similar to a real arm. The robotic arm is not easy to get used to. Amanda needs a lot of practice to be able to control her hand and make it perform the tasks she wants it to do. The technology is still very new and it's not perfect. Scientists are working on the robotic arm to make it function better. They are developing sensors to help the user feel what he or she is touching or holding. In the future, this will make it easier for the user to have better control of movements. Eventually, the user will be able to pick up small objects such as a key and squeeze objects such as a bottle of mustard without accidentally squeezing too hard. Bionics are not only used to restore movement, they can also be used to help improve the function of other systems in our bodies, like hearing. A bionic device called a cochlear implant can help a completely deaf person hear some sound again. The implant works by picking up sound with a microphone and changing the sound to electronic signals. Electrodes carry the signals from the microphone on the side of the head deep inside the ear to the cochlear nerve. This nerve is the part of the ear that controls hearing. Unlike bionic arms and legs, the cochlear implant is not a very new technology. Over the past 30 years, nearly 200,000 people around the world have received cochlear implants. A little boy named Aiden Kenny is one of these people. Tammy Kenny, his mother, remembers learning that her baby was deaf. She says, "One time, my husband banged pots together, hoping for a response. Aiden did not hear the noise. He can hear banging pots now. When he was 10 months old, doctors put cochlear implants in both of his ears. The day Aiden's implants were turned on, he responded to sound. His mother remembers, "He turned at the sound of my voice. That was amazing." Hearing is not the only sense that can be improved through bionics. There is also a bionic eye implant that can restore some sight to blind people. Like other bionic body parts, the bionic eye uses electrical impulses to send signals to the brain. Electrodes connected to the back of the eye send information to nerves in the brain. This information helps people like Joanne Lewis, who lost her sight years ago as a result of an eye disease, to see shapes and colors. The images are not clear, but the implant allows Joanne to recognize specific objects. One of the last things Joanne remembers seeing naturally were trees. Today, she's able to see the shapes of trees again. Joanne says, "Today, I can see limbs sticking out this way and that." The bionic eye works kind of like a camera. The more electrodes that are connected, the better the image. Joanne Lewis's implants have 60 electrodes. Scientists are working on newer, better models that will have hundreds of electrodes. With more electrodes in place, people who receive the implant will be able to see even more clearly. Scientists are even beginning to use bionics on the brain itself. The goal is to make it possible for paralyzed people to control objects with their mind. So far, the people in the studies have been able to move a cursor around a computer screen and to control objects like televisions and robotic arms like this one with their mind. The brain is complex, and scientists still have a lot to learn about it. But our knowledge of the brain is growing, and technology is becoming more precise every day. Each year, advances are made in bionic technology. Maybe many years from now, bionic arms and legs will have been perfected. Maybe someday, bionic ear and eye implants will restore full hearing and sight. And maybe paralyzed people will even be able to move their own bodies using bionic devices. Research in bionic technology still has a long way to go. At the moment, bionic parts are only a rough imitation of the parts created by nature. But still, they give people who have lost the function of a body part a way of doing what their bodies used to be able to do naturally.